Hello again, this is Corey. This is part 2 of my series of videos I'm posting regarding my L5-S1 microdiscectomy. Just a quick recap if you missed the first video. So for the last 10.5 months, I've been dealing with back issues, more specifically in my disc area between my L5 and S1. It started as a bulge disc, and then in June, first week in June, it turned into a herniated disc that was bulging out both sides of my vertebrae, pushing on both sides of my nerves, the left and right side. What I didn't tell you in the first video was that about 2 months ago, the pain has been totally gone on the left side. In my first video, and I spoke about how I had pain on both sides. I had numbness in my foot, in the left foot. That's totally subsided. I haven't had any pain in the left side, and I haven't had any numbness on the left side for a couple months now. So when I told the doctor that, and when he looked at my MRI, we both decided that we would just do the left side, the right side. Also, what I didn't cover in my first video was the fact that for the last 6 months, I've been taking about 900 milligrams of Neurontin and about 2,000 milligrams of ibuprofen. So that's a lot of medication. So anyways, just to bring it current here, so I had my surgery November 6th, so about 2 days ago, and I'm gonna be real specific in this video because there's probably some people out there who've never had surgery before, like me. So basically, I want to thank Dr. Clark. He was phenomenal. But my surgery was scheduled at 8:30 in the morning, and they told me to report to the hospital about 6:30 to go through all the paperwork and then go through all the pre-op procedures, and then get me ready for surgery, obviously. So. Sorry if I'm sniffling. I just took a walk outside, and it's like about 20 degrees here in Michigan right now, so I apologize. I think I also mentioned in my first video that I'm 6'3", 250, so that comes into play later on here because I think that the medication and stuff and the way that you react to medication has a lot to do with how much you weigh and how big you are as a person. So the surgery itself only lasted about 85 minutes. The surgery went real well, according to the doctor. I woke up from the anesthesia, and I know that some people who have posted videos in the past regarding this surgery said they had a reaction to the anesthesia, nauseousness, and so on and so forth. I had none of that. I had no nauseousness. I was wide awake when I woke up from my surgery. I was very coherent. It went very well. So they moved me to the post-op room, recovery room, where I was actually supposed to spend the night. So I didn't know that, but they scheduled me to spend the night. But luckily, the surgery itself went really well, and I was able to go home that night still. So a couple of things they want you to do is, number one, they want you to, for me, they had me pass, I had to urinate at least 3 times. That was one thing. So they make you urinate at least 3 times, and it has to be a good amount of urination. Obviously, they have you hooked up to an IV bag, and obviously you're drinking fluids and stuff, so it's not too hard to urinate, but they want to make sure you urinate at least 3 times. And then also, they have a tube hooked up where your incision was at for drainage, and they want to obviously drain all that fluid out of there, and so they empty the drain bag about every 4 hours, and they want that drain bag to be, I can't remember what it is like, but it has to be below a certain level before they can pull that drain out and give you the okay to go home. So, so at about I can't remember. I think it's like around 6 o'clock at night, the day of the surgery. They looked at my bag again, drained it out, and it was below the level. So they said, hey, you're good to go. So, and the reason for that is because if they seal that up and it's still draining quite a bit, then obviously that will put pressure on your back, back there, and it'll be harder to heal. So yeah, so I was good to go. So I went home. Well, first I stopped at Walgreens to pick up my scripts, and then I went home. I had my wonderful fiance there the whole time. She was wonderful, Rachel. She helped me through this whole process, but we got home, and everything was fine that night. The biggest thing, the hardest thing is getting up and sitting down, and there's a certain way you have to roll when you're rolling to bed. There's a certain way to get out of bed. So that's kind of all the hard stuff. But everything went well the first day, the first night when I got home from surgery. The second day, so operation +1, so the first day, first full day out of the hospital. Woke up in the morning, took my meds. So the meds they gave me they gave me obviously a Norco for the pain. They gave me a Flexerol. They gave me some Vicodin, and they gave me, they recommended a stool softener. So those are the things I picked up from Walgreens the night I came home. And obviously the stool softener is because the medication can cause constipation, and obviously you want to have a bowel movement. So that morning I got up, ate breakfast, took my meds, went for a walk. Felt real good. Went for a walk. And let me go back and say this too. At the hospital, every time I went to the bathroom to urinate, I walked, and the walking felt great. Before my surgery, I could only lift my feet so high off the ground, which caused me to limp because of the pain on the nerve. So, but I was pain-free. No pushing on the nerve. My gait and my stride when I walk is back to normal. So. Thank God for that. I went for a walk, and then came back and laid down and stuff. And then about 1 or 2 in the afternoon, the reality set in. The pain medication they gave me during the surgery began to wear off, and I began to experience some real bad pain, especially the nerve. Felt the nerve in my glute, the nerve in my legs. It was a very excruciating pain. Trying to get in and out of bed was just very excruciating. It was horrible. So I actually called up my doctor, as they tell you to the paperwork. The paperwork tells you to call your doctor the first or second day after surgery to schedule your follow-up, but also just to kind of tell them how you're doing. Told my doctor, actually his nurse, what was going on. Told her I was in a lot of pain, and she said, well, obviously, they're messing with your muscles back there. They cut through your muscles, and they were messing around with that nerve. They had to pull that nerve away and stuff before they cut out the disc. So she said there's probably a lot of inflammation in there, and a lot of swelling. So she prescribed me a oral steroid, which I'm not quite sure why they didn't prescribe that to begin with. You would have thought they would have done that, but they didn't. So my fiance went back to Walgreens that night, actually about 4 in the afternoon, and picked up that script for the oral steroid. And I started taking that, and so the pain has subsided. So it's been from probably about 6 o'clock last night until today. It's been pretty good. I had my first bowel movement. I'm sure everybody wants to hear that, but that's important. It took me a while to do that, and I think I was on a toilet for about 20 minutes just trying to focus on doing that. But obviously you have to have a bowel movement, or else that keeps building up, and you don't want that to happen. So I was able to do that. Everything went well last night afterwards, after I got that oral steroid and stuff. So now today we are at, this is day 2 post-op, November 8th, and feeling pretty good. I'm on a lot of meds, so maybe that's why, but I'm feeling pretty good. I'm taking the still the Norcos, still taking the Flexerol, and I'm taking the oral steroid. The Vicodin, I only take that at nighttime before I go to bed because it causes drowsiness. Yeah, I just went for a walk a few minutes ago. Felt really good. And so, yeah, we're doing pretty good so far. So this is day 2. I will send another video or make another video in the next day or so. If anybody has any questions or comments, please feel free to send them to me, and I'll respond as quickly as possible. But hopefully this helps everyone out there who is contemplating this surgery. Again, this is the microdiscectomy of the disc between L5 and S1. Thank you.